Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today we're going to try opening some Adventurous Steel loot box things and see if they're worth it. Alright, that's what we're going to cover today in this video. I just want to say right off the bat that they are a little pricey, alright? Anyway, we're going to go into it. I'm going to go into details in this video. I'm going to talk about things with the money and the amounts, and when would it be realistic to even want to use them if you were going to try to get stuff out of them, and then we're going to kind of go through and open them. Now, I'm not going to open this many. You saw in the video, I said I would open 25. I'm going to open 20 on my main account and 5 on my alt account because I had free black steel keys, and I didn't want to buy too many black steel keys. We're going to talk about how much they cost, all that kind of stuff. What does it really give you? We're going to go through the 25 openings and see how much we actually get out of it, things like that. So we're going to cover all of that in this video. So it'll be a little technical video too, and also be fun and kind of like an opening video to see what do we actually get out of it. Is it actually helpful? Is it cool cosmetics? Things like that. We'll cover that in this video as quick as we can, and I will try to do jumps throughout the video so you're not waiting around too much. But the first thing I want to talk about is purchasing the black steel keys, and also what if you don't want these popping in your inventory. That's the first thing we're going to cover right now. This video is a guide. If you go down here and click at this and you go to filters or Control R, you can go to filters and you can actually filter items. You can either filter on your entire your character or your entire account. The one says account. So you basically just drag and drop the item, boop, and it will put it into the filter. This means whenever you loot an item off any monster or character, these will no longer even appear. They will not be looted and put into your chest if you're someone who doesn't want these constantly cluttering up your chest. All right, now to finish that, I'm not going to do that for now, but that's how you do it. You just drag and drop it off to get rid of the filter, okay? You can do it with your single character, or you can do it with your whole account. It also works similarly for sounds. I have a video on that if you want to do that as well. But basically, the big point of this video is to cover, are these actually worth opening? How much do they really cost? All right, so let's go over that now. So open up the LOTRO store with me here, and we'll go right now. All right, so now that we have the LOTRO store opened up, you need to look up black steel key. So if you have a black steel key, which I do here to show you guys, if I right click it, it will show you can open these boxes. Another important thing to keep in mind with these boxes, all right, is that you need to hover them and make sure they are the right level for this different kind. There are some ones from back in the day below level 150 that you would use a different key and stuff like that in a different kind of box. These are called the Adventurous Steel bound loot boxes, and I do recommend you do not open them until you're level 50. You can open them from level 141 onwards, but they will not give you stuff relative to your level unless you're that level on that character. So make sure you're open them at max level. Now, at the time of putting out this video, it's only about 2 months away from the max 160. Hopefully this will still be helpful to you at that point, this video, but this will be the 2 months in between for you guys. I might do another one for 160 if they have a different kind of box, or if they scale this box up to 160 later. So I might regret it. So again, like and subscribe would be awesome assistance, because I did put some money in to make this video. So I appreciate the support. So look up black steel keys. All right, so you can just type in black, usually it pops up. You can see here, black steel keys. Obviously, you're gonna want, if you're opening a lot, you're gonna wanna buy the bulk amount, because if you do the math, it is a little bit cheaper, I think. I think I say, but it is. You do the math. Because it would be just over 900 if you got all 5 as singles. So it's 900 LOTRO points. Well, how much is 900 LOTRO points? Some of you might know off the top of your head, but if we just go and look right here, US price, this is US, you're gonna have to do your own conversions, guys, for Europe and other places. As you can see, if we want to get 900, well, that's somewhere, it's ish $10-ish, the way we look at the amount and the bonuses per thing you get. Today, I will be opening 25, 20 on my main account, 5 on the other account. So I had 10 already, and I bought the other ones, which I already got the right amount of LOTRO points to be able to get it with some spare ones. But so keep in mind, 900 for 5 openings, which means it's about, so we're talking just about $10. So for every 5 boxes, it's going to be about $10. Now, the exceptions to this, if you can get double LOTRO points times, they do this where you could pay for it and you'll get double the LOTRO points, right? Which I highly recommend. That's when you buy your LOTRO points. If you're going to buy LOTRO points, okay, you should wait until those sales. They do them like 2 or 3 times a year. So really, just if you want to plan your finances and you tend to want more LOTRO points, than maybe just the 500 you get if you're a VIP a month, which is great, by the way. It's a great way to get your LOTRO points. I recommend waiting for those sales. Another thing is sometimes they'll put the black keys on sale. I have seen that before. That's another way you could get it cheaper. But sales aside, the flat amount and price, I did the math. If I wanted to open 60 boxes like I had here, we're talking like $150 US, which is too much for me. And probably too much for a lot of you. But hey, if you're someone that has a lifetime membership and you have, please don't spend your LOTRO points on this. I mean, like, spend them on other things first if you just came back to the game, or you need to know what else is in the LOTRO store. I actually have a video, I'll link it down there, where I cover the entire LOTRO store in depth and what's really kind of good to get and what's worth it for either free-to-play or VIP. So I'll link that down there for you. This is more of a fun video, but I'm trying to make it educational still. So yes, if you had a ton of extra LOTRO points, you're sitting on 40,000 because you had a lifetime membership, you haven't been on for 10 years. There are other things that are better, but hey, opening 20 of these might be helpful to you, and that's what the goal of this whole video is today, to show you what do you get out of it. One of the big ones that I want that would help me is to get some extra embers. You can get some pretty cool embers, and I actually have a thing which I'm going to show you right now. It's from the LOTRO Wiki. It'll explain what the boxes actually have in them. So let me bring that up for you real quick. All right, here we are, the Adventure Steel Loot Box. See, it's the correct one. Make sure it's the right one. You can kind of see what the goodies are, what you get out of it. It does change occasionally on what they're giving. It looks like we have about the same stuff right now as, well, this is actually the Angler stuff, which I think before it was the Mushroom Gatherer. So it does change over time, and they usually let you know that. So, hey, I might get some cool stuff. The Tome of the Abel Ice Shore Fisher. That's actually, so these are actually newer items, and you also have some items at desk and things like that. So who knows? Maybe we'll get them in this 25 boxes. We'll find out. There's also the Steed. So this does rotate and change depending on it. Never contain items from the curator. You always have to get those from the curator. They got some info up here you might want to read and double check yourself to know that curator is a special rotating NPC that comes. You could trade in for fragments. So these are specialty things only found in these chests is what they're saying. All right. By the way, at the end of this video, I know I'm giving you a lot of info. I hope you leave a comment if you have a question. I'm going to talk about how you can get embers really well in the game, real fast at the end of this video. So if you want, jump to the end. So you can get embers using these, but it's not an efficient way, and there are really, really good ways to get embers throughout the game. So please don't think, oh, this is, you know, sure, you might be able to get some fast embers if you're lucky with this, but you can get some good embers in 3 or 4 other really good ways. So keep that in mind. There's plenty of ways to earn those in the game. But you can see there's all this different stuff. By the way, some of these things are actually good and scale up well. I actually am using one of these swords as my endgame off item still on my Lore Master, because I'd have to get a gold item to be better, because they were actually slightly better than the Embers gear. If you guys know what that is, I talk about it. It's the stuff you get out of the Ember boxes. Again, this might all change with the expansion, so keep that in mind. If you're watching this after the Caps 160, just keep that in mind, even though this is close to it. You can also see there's also some other kinds of gear that will drop with different levels of stuff, and it's pretty good. You can hover and look through what you can get here, okay? But what I'm really looking to get from me, personally, is sure, there's some other cool little things you can get here and there, but I would like the Embers. And there are very, very high chances at some crazy levels of Embers. Apparently they've done some updates, because I do not remember them being able to have a drop of 6,000. But I did get a chunk of 4,000 one time, which was insane. So when you're opening these boxes, whenever you're opening these boxes, make sure your Embers amount are below 6. Your cap of Embers is 10,000, okay, in the game, unless they change that to 160, which would be really nice. We would like that. We would like that change. Pretty much every player I've ever talked to wants that change. But make sure you have 4,000 or less in your inventory whenever you open one of these. Even if you just have a key and you have one, you're just opening one. Because if you open it up and you get lucky and get 6,000 embers, which is a lot for all of us who play a lot, all at once, and you say you had 9,400 in your already in your wallet on your account that you opened it, you lose them. It does not overcap them. I have tested it. You lose them. Okay, so if you got so lucky to get 6,000 and suddenly you only get 600 and 5,400 embers goes in the trash, basically, bad. So whenever you open one of these boxes, even if it's just one, make sure your embers are been used for things you want them used for before you open. Just keep that in mind. All right, and you can see some other cool things you can get here as well. that are kind of fun. Some of these are for Monster Play, so there's some cool little items you can get from Monster Play. Actually, you know what? These are for Monster Players. Ignore me. This is if you wanted to open it in Monster Play. I would tell you right now that I believe it's even less useful for Monster Play to open these chests, so I wouldn't. But it's up to you. You can read what you can get here. You could get some good combinations, I guess, which would technically help your free character too. Okay, all right, we're gonna stop. That's what we're doing. Moving on, Zollin. Let's not get sidetracked. All right, so now that we've talked about what they really cost, all that kind of stuff, we're going to get into doing some opening, and I'm actually going to purchase some black keys real quick. We'll just do it right now. So I want to get 15. So you can see it multiplies it up, right? I'm going to get 15 because I have 5 already. We're going to open 20 on this account, 5 on my alt account. So now, well, okay. I mean, 27, I have 7,000. We could open more for the video. Tell you what, let's open, see what I get, and we might open a few more. We'll just let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so we'll spend the 2,700 here. All right, so now we have 20 black keys ready to go. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna commence opening, but I need some more room because I'm definitely not opening this many. And so let's do some magic cleanup here. Baruch Kazad! All right, and I bought 5 more keys. Okay, we're gonna do a flat 30. We'll do 25 on my main account, 5 on the other. So I got 25 boxes here. So let's see what we can get. Now, first things, again, remember first things you're opening. If you jump to this spot, if I did a timestamp for you, I have only 1,000 embers, which is great, okay? I did not say it gave ancient script, so I don't need to worry about that being lost, but embers is the big one that it has a chance to give. And so we're gonna go ahead and start opening. So here we go. You jump to this point in the video. Let's do it. So we will see some cool little animations here. I'll make sure, let me go ahead and get rid of these other boxes that we don't need them. There we go, we'll do this. I'm sorry I cannot blow this up. I will read everything so you can see it as we do it. All right, so we're gonna stand where the light is a little better for us. And we'll open the first one by, again, right-clicking one of the keys. Brings up the selection box. Make sure it's the right kind of box. It is. I'm level 150. All right, and my embers are not full, so here we go. First opening. Some cool animation effects. I got 250 embers, which is awesome. So we got a Cloak of the Adventurer, which is 528. It has decent might. It's not quite as good as the Embers cloaks. So again, for me, I'm not going to use it. But hey, it's another 200 embers. So that's 650 embers. I will be keeping a tally on how many embers I get opening all these boxes. All right. So I'm going to include the other account. I'll math it, so in case you do it all in one account, okay? So I'm going to continue that tally here for you. Oh, so the loot box, loot chat is up there, so you can see where I bought the keys and what I get up there in the thing. And also, I will be counting the items I am going to disenchant into the ember account. So we have 250 plus a cloak of 200. So that one gave us 450 embers. That's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. We also got the Angler's favorite painting, which is kind of cool. So that's one of the things. And an enhancement rune box, which again, it'd be kind of nice if this enhancement rune box was like, it's just a regular enhancement rune. Just gives you 2 thing levels. Yeah, it's not terrible. All right, so there's the first one. Going for the second box. Here we go, continuing on. I like the animation, by the way. Oh, excuse me. I guess you also can get motes of enchantment with this. So I didn't say that before, but it's not as important, but it is still. So you need to double check your wallet. It probably was on that big list, which again, I'll link it down there if you want to see exactly what you get. But remember, check your wallet out. Make sure my motes were almost 0, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't remember if it does figments. It might do figments if you disenchant things. So like for example, the boots of the able angler. So I will be able to get figments of splendor to use at the curator in the future as well. If I get a bunch of these and I don't want the whole, I just want the 5 pieces, right? So if I get like 15, 20 pieces of the gear, I can break them all down. I'm not going to add them up right now. We'll just go ahead and move on. We also have a spear here, a heavy lance spear. Interestingly enough, this is for level 150. Let's see what it looks like. Does it look cool? It's decent. It's a decent looking spearhead. It's okay. But hey, I can disenchant it for more motes of enchantment. And I got some minor potions of power, which are not fantastic, but they're account wide, so I can put them on my whole account. So that's great. So that's not the best box, but we'll just keep going. All right, we're gonna do the next one here and open. Yes. Okay, so again, I'm not going to be adding those motes of enchantment. So we have the Keen Adventurer sword here, which again is a 526. It's not a 528. My 528 one is the one I kept on my Lore Master. But hey, it's 200 embers, so we will be breaking that down for 200 embers, and we got 250 in it. I feel like I'm like doing a an auction, but I gotta talk quickly or this video will become too long. So I don't usually talk quite this fast in my videos. If you want to put me on ×2, it'll sound hilarious. We got the Tome of the Ice Fisher. And now we get, sweet, second box. That's pretty lucky since it's the only one. That's kind of awesome. Also, we got a Major Potion of Power. Now this is quite more, it's a lot more helpful. That's what I'm trying to look for. All right, sweet. So we're getting there. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and go with the next chest. All right, so this is box number 4. I'm gonna lose track of the box, how many boxes we opened. All right, so this one gave us moats of enchantment, so I will not be adding any more to the list here, but we did get a cloak, which is also for moats, which is a little funny that they're giving us cloaks that break down for moats, but does it look cool? Yeah, this cloak is pretty cool. I mean, it's up to you. What do you guys think? We're just going to kind of look at it like that when they come through. We got this same tome, which is 200 Figments of Splendor, basically, or by the way, it's bound to account, so if you want that pet on more than one of your characters in your account, most of this stuff is only bound to account, including the gear and the cosmetics, and it's all bound to account. So, cool. Got some enhancement rune. Sweet, level 3. All right. All right, let's go ahead and open the next one. I don't know how it really... Oh, excuse me. This is a different one. Okay, so this is why you have to be careful. This is the Traveler's Steel Box. This is the other lower level one. This is minimum level 20 and up. I do not want to open this one because it does not have that same loot box amount. So I must find it and annihilate it. So you have to be careful when you do this, guys. This is what you... watch out for the Traveler's Steel loot box over the Adventurers. There's actually a few Travelers in here. In fact, did I open a Traveler's a minute ago? Is that why we're getting the other kinds? Yes, I did. All right. That's why I'm getting moats. I need to be careful. All right, so I opened 2 of the Traveler ones. I do not want to do that. So just keep in mind, so the Traveler ones, I did not give a... Long story short, I told my whole kinship to send me their boxes, and I bet someone sent me the Travelers without realizing. It's not their fault. I'm not blaming anybody. I should have been more clear on that, and I should have double-checked myself. So I'm going to get rid of the Traveler ones. I do not want those ones to use. So let me just go through real quick. I'll do a teleport. Be right back. Kazad! Okay, we're back. So I'm really glad I realized that after only 2 of those. I bought 2 more Black Steel keys because I want to keep the title of this video as 30. Okay, so because we're going to do the other 5 in the other account. So I brought 2 more Adventure boxes back since I used 2 on Travelers. So now that I've double checked through all of them, we're going to be only using Adventurers. Like I said, that's why we were getting moats. So just keep that in mind. Because I looked at the sheet and I'm like, we don't get moats out of the Adventurer ones. So let me be very clear. We're not talking about the traveling ones. We're talking about the Adventurer Steel loot boxes. All right, sweet. Moving on. All right, so Adventurers, we will continue to open more Adventurer ones. All right, there we go. Now we got Embers. Okay, we're good there. And the gear will be definitely better. So now we've got some ones. Again, I'm going to break these down. So another 450 Embers. Not bad, not bad. So we got 250 out of the box, and then we're going to break down those boots for another 200 on top of that. And we also got the Angler's hat, which we will definitely take a look at the end here, but that's a nice little fishing hat. Looks very nice. And we got some more minor potions. Cool. All right, we're going to do this a little bit faster. We're going to do this a little faster. So I'm going to start opening them a little quicker so we don't make this video too long. Hey, we actually got, so this refined portable embers is actually normally very expensive to get. It's one of the ember items, so normally you'd be spending 4,000 embers to get this, so boom, that's awesome. Heck yeah. If you were trying to, it's actually the one I would pick too if you wanted tactical mitigation. Fate's like but it's 400, so I'm going to break it down though. So I'm going to count it as 400 for myself to break down, and we got 250 out of the box, so we will add those together. We are at 2,000 now, and we've only opened 4 boxes. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good indeed. We also got the Chair of the Angler, which will be cool to check out later. Let's go ahead and go straight into the next one here. Open. All right, that one gave 500 embers. That was a far better box for that. And we also got a thing which will give us 200, but it's also a pretty decent bow if you have an alt. Goes to your whole account. Just saying. If it has the right stats, and it definitely be better than like level up gear if you did a Valor boost, right? And we also got some heritage runes, which again, the runes increase your track, right, for your character if you go into your reward track, right? It helps you get all your legendary item stuff, which helps you, right? So that's good. Anyway, I added the 500 and the 200 for the bow. All right, we will continue on now with the next box here. We've only 5 boxes in. All right, so 250 embers. All right, sweet. And we also got another painting, which again, we will break down for figments if we don't want more than one. So you're really going to get a lot of figments for the curator later. 200, and I'm not going to use this, but it's not really a great item, but it is a 528 item. So if you needed physical mastery, physical mitigation, those stats are great. If you don't have better gear like temple gear or the embers gear already, these stats are decently good to get up for an alt. And again, you can just switch around your characters. But we got, out of this box, we got 250 plus 200. So let me go ahead and write that down as well. All right, sweet. Let's go ahead and go for another box here. Open the next adventurer's box. Boom. All right, that one gave us another 500. So we're getting a pretty good chunk of embers here every single time. And we got a cruel double axe sword. Now, some of these actually look kind of cool. This is a 526. It's actually kind of an interesting, it looks more like a lamppost, you know, than an axe, but yeah, whatever. Pack of the Angler. Cool. It's the backpack, which looks awesome. Now, that's kind of worth it. That looks really cool. I'm going to be using that. That's awesome. Also, some crafting sea stones. Man, that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and add the 500 plus the 200, because I will break that one down. So we're at 3,800. All right. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and do the next one here. Another adventurer's one. Let's do it. Open it up. Boom! All right, we got the Seafarer's Adventuring Lively Essence box, which could be broken down for 400, but is also very expensive normally. Now, you can get essences in easier ways than this, so keep that in mind. But Desk of the Able, sweet. Chunk ores, useless. So we got 250. I will be keeping the essence, so since it's the Lively Essence. It's not a Vivid. You can get Vivid. But I will be keeping it, I believe, because Livelies are pretty hard to get usually, so I will not calculate in the embers for this one. Well, yeah, I'm only going to be calculating the embers in for gear. All right, that's for me. You can do it yourself. You go through the video and add all this up yourself, because you're going to see every step of the way anyway. I am just going to add what I got for the box, the 250. I'm going to do just gear and the boxes. Essences I'm going to keep, because I feel like you can always use essences. If they're lively or vivid, they're always good. So, all right, next one, we got a shield, which is actually a pretty darn decent shield. It is clearly, as you can see, it is not as good as the Embers version of the shield, which I am using, but it's not terrible. But yeah, mine is definitely a lot better, so I will be burning it down for 200, and we got 250 Embers on top of that, so we'll add the 250 and the 200 for the shield. All right, and we've got this and this. And remember, if you're opening a lot, and again, I got the pack again, which, by the way, counts as 600 figments. And remember, figments, these are cosmetics. You could put them in your shared wardrobe, only one of them, and it means you break down. So that's 600 figments for me to use for later, which is great, because I wanted to get more training dummies when the person comes around, or other things. So, perfect. All right, we will go to the next box now. Here we go. This is box number 10, I believe. So let's go ahead and open this. 500. Oh, I got the steed. I got the steed. That's pretty legit. And remember, it's bound to account. So if you get more than one steed, if you're opening a lot, you can have it on more than one character then, because those items, right, steeds and pets, you'd have to have per character. We also got Seafarer's Lively Essence again, which I will not count. So, but I am going to count the 500. So we're at 10 boxes, and we have gotten an average for my opening luck, which seems okay. I've gotten a few 500s. 5,050 embers, counting me breaking down the gear. Okay? Not with how much embers. Again, you can go do your own math if you want to. That's how I'm doing it for this video. Now with that, my friends, we are going to go into the next ones. All right, but first, don't forget, if you're opening a lot, check your wallet and make sure. So we're at over 4,000 embers. Remember I told you if I got lucky, got 6,000, I don't want to lose embers. But the good news is I have a use for my embers right now. I'm actually going to trade in for this particular item in this video, because I got past tier 3 of that. The Menacing Tentacle. I'm going to trade in for one of those. There we go. And now we have enough to get more. So let's go ahead and open our next Adventure Steel loot box. All right, we got 250. We got one of the consumables. We got another painting, which means basically 400 free fragments. And then we have a piece of jewelry, which is pretty darn good, but I'm going to break that down like I already said. So 200 for the jewelry and 250 for the box. So I mean, that's a 450 box there opening. It's pretty good. All right, we're going to go for the next box here. And all right, that one gave 1,000 embers. That was a good one. All right, when it comes to embers. And I also got a club, which has some decent stats if you unit it as an offhand for an alt. But I'm going to break it down for 200 embers. And then we also got another painting, which again is just turning into figments now, unless you want to have lots of the same painting in your house. And wax lump, which is completely useless. It's just crafting garbage. So it's not garbage. Keep it. If you're going to have a crafter, you can sell it on the auction hall. But that's really not that many. You can get them very quickly from the proto quests. 2 of the 5 quests will give you 20 of those. So those are kind of just like little sugar on top, I guess, or something. We're going to open the next one. 500 embers and a cloak that is a decently good cloak if you need it for an alt, but I'm going to break it down. So that's 500 and 200 embers. So we're already at a pretty decent amount. So the 500 plus the 200, we're at 7,400 embers. We got another one of the same boots. So if you're trying to get the whole set of gear, just so you guys know, at the amount of boxes we've already opened, we only have the backpack, the hat, and the chest piece and the boots. So we really just need the gloves. So that's not too bad, but that's a lot of keys I've already opened with. We only have 12 left. So let's continue on our opening spree here today. We'll open another one here. 500 embers, another sea lively, another chair, and hides, which again, hides are like whatever. It's not really, I don't even know why they're in the role, to be totally honest with you guys. So just the 500 I'm going to add. I'm going to keep the essence for myself. All right, let's go ahead and open the next one. Remember, we're only opening 20 adventurers on this character. Tome of Experience, cool. Go my whole calc, put it in a hat again. We'll break that down. 200 embers, and for the hat, the jewelry, which again is a good piece of jewelry for like someone that you needed it on, one of your alts, whatever stats. 250 embers. All right, that's not too bad. How are we doing on? I might go ahead and spend. Yeah, so I'm at that threshold again of embers, so I'm going to go ahead and just trade for another one. It is good to see you. Just so I don't get lucky, and I only need like 2 more of those, I think, to finish my set on the other character. I'm also going to need embers to trade in for that, so I'm going to stack some up for that as well. So I got 10 more black keys on this character. So technically we're halfway through, right? No, sorry, I did 25. We are 15 through. We're going to do 30 total with my alt. 500 and a blue item, which is 527, which has really good stats. I might actually end up keeping that item. I don't know, for my 1 alt. That might be good on my burglar. It might be better than he has. I'll have to double check though, because he has the amber gear. So if it's over 527, then his is probably better. We also got, again, more figments, 600 figments, which is great, of Splendor. And then 500 flat. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to count the amount here because I said I would count it. So I'm going to count the item, just not counting the essences. So 400 and 500, that was a very good box for embers, if you're just looking for embers in these boxes. All right, and we're going to go ahead and open the next one here. We got a chest piece, which is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Again, with the Angler's backpack again, and 250. So, again, that one's probably a pretty generic box right there. So, if you guys want to kind of know my opinion on these in general, I do not think these are worth it, these boxes. I'm kind of having fun making this video for you guys. So, again, throw me a like if you would. Maybe a subscribe if you would like. I don't do these kind of videos that often for LOTRO, but I do lots of other LOTRO stuff. We got a chair. We might keep that for, if I like the chairs, I'll keep them in the house. But we got shoulder pads, which you can see the stats there. They're pretty good. But again, it's 528. And that might not be a terrible one. It's nice when they're 528 because they're up at the same level as the other stuff. So 200 for it though, and 250. So now we're over 10,000 embers we've gotten. And as you can see on average, we've only opened We definitely haven't. We've opened a lot to only be at 10,000 embers, which you could get 10,000 embers in like 2 days if you do it right. And again, I will talk about that at the end of this video when I finish it. So let's go ahead and finish opening these. 250 embers and some earrings. You can see the earrings right there, which I am going to, again, just put into embers. Ooh. So 200 for that and 250 for the box. All right, and we got the desk. Sweet, I wanted to see the desk. So we got the desk. That's awesome. It took a lot to get to the desk, but still not terrible. Now, I have too much stuff here, so I'm going to need to break something down. And what I'm going to break down are the backpacks, because I do not need more than one of the backpack, because it's bound to account, and I could put it in my wardrobe, right, to share it to anyone, or in my vault and have them just put it on their cosmetics. So I'm going to break down some of these backpacks. Since we know we can't get them in huge chunks, we'll break them down. And I can see my wallet here. My figments are at 7,000. Just make sure I don't cap it and lose some, because that would be a bummer. I do want to keep one of the backpacks, so there it is. And what I'm going to do is I'll break down some of this jewelry I'm not going to use. You can see what I'm showing you, what I'm breaking down, just so you can do the math yourself on what I got, in case you don't like some math I did, which is fine. I understand. I'm going to break down this jewelry. Okay, there we go. So I have a little bit more space now to get some more stuff. Also, you can see the crafting items I got. I'm going to go ahead and eat the crafting items into my carry-all just to save some room. So look what I got right now, so you can kind of see what I have. I am going to put them into my carry-all. So I will absorb crafting items. There we go. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and continue opening here. Let's open the next one. All right, and whoop. All right, another 250 embers items. We got the boots again. We got some reinforced pants, which are actually better, I believe, than the actual embers box, because the embers box gives it to you at 526, I think, always. Possibly 527. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But these are 528. So these are actually good pants. So need some pants. Those are good pants. So we'll go ahead and add 400 for the pants, though, still. And the box gave us 250. So we're at 1125 if we're not breaking down the ember boxes. So now I have over 4,000 embers. So I'm going to go ahead and trade for my last thing I want over here. I need to save some of my coal iron tokens for actually getting the gear. So we'll stop there for trading it for those. But that helped me get that up quickly for my healer who needs the gear. So now what I'm going to do is open the next one. We have 5 more boxes to open. There we go. All right. Got a piece of jewelry, which is great stats, actually. 526. Crit. That's good. That's good jewelry. But I'm going to add it to embers and 500. All right. So that means that, and we got the desk. That's another 600 for the figments. So not bad. Not bad at all. And in fact, I will break down a desk, because I believe we have 2 now. Actually, you know what? Let's hold on to the desk, because I might want to have more than one in my house, because housing items are a little different than cosmetic gear, right? All right, let's go ahead and open our last 4 here. We're going to open this one. 250 embers. We got a tracery. We got a hat again, and we got that. So 250 and 200, so not bad. All right, let's open the next one. So 3 boxes left, you guys. Here we go. All right, 500 for that one. Okay, and we're going to have 200 of this. I hope I'm not freaking you guys out that stuff changed, but part way through the video, I had to continue it here. So we got the palm dated tree here. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So, and then I'm going to, again, some boots, which are not terrible stats, but I'm going to add these up. So we're going to add the 500 we just got, plus the 200 of the item I'm going to break down. So we're at 13,100. Said that wrong. Bigger number. So we are, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So we're going to go ahead and open the last 2 here on this one. All right, 250 embers. All right. And we got the shirt of the avid birder. Cool, which is, I think, one of the ones I wanted. Oh, the angler and the birder, they're both options. Okay, there's actually 2 options there. All right, good to know. Cool. And then we got another 250 and 200. So, you know, it's a pretty decent amount of embers, but I wouldn't say it's worth it to do the embers like this. Again, the end of this video, I'm going to explain how to get the best embers here pretty soon. Like doing it normal, because I don't think these are worth doing embers. It's fun if you have the extra money, I guess. Trousers of the Avid Birder. Now, the reason why these are Birder now, you guys are going to laugh. They actually, I believe, updated it literally between my 2 segments of this video. They literally updated. Let's bring it up and double check. All right, so the page doesn't say it's updated yet here on the wiki, but it probably just hasn't been updated. I believe that they just changed it because there's an announcement in the official Discord right here. It says you can get this the birding shirt that we just got from the official Discord and learn your figments and all this stuff. So I have a feeling they put it into loot boxes. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Let me copy and paste this for you. All right. Filbert's figments have arrived also in loot boxes. So there you go. So you can get this cute little bird and stuff now. I'll link this in the description as well. But we'll go ahead and close that. We'll keep going. So that changed literally overnight while I was doing these videos. This video. Not these. This video, I should say. All right, let me go ahead and open. I think that was our last box. That was our last one. So we did a combined total of 25 boxes. Indeed, we did here on this character. So the total combined amount, if I break down all this stuff, would be 13,550 embers for 25 boxes. But I said I was going to do 30. So we're going to go and jump over and do 5 on my alt account as well to kind of add that up as well, just to see what 30 gives us. But now that we have all this stuff, remember we want to bring up our wallet here. All right, see where we're at. Okay, we're looking good. So now what I need to do is a little bit of organization. So let me magically organize this off video. So Baruch Kazad. All right, we got it all organized up here. See what we got. Now remember, we already did break down some of the cosmetic items for figments. We got our figments up like, what, 4,000 almost. And we also did break down a few of the cosmetic things, but I didn't do the housing items, all right? So we're going to have to go look at them real quick, obviously, in the house for this video because, you know, it's part of this opening. And you can see I broke down what we have. We got some consumables. We did get the horse, the steed of the angler, which I think is quite rare, considering we opened 25 boxes in this character and we got only one of the horse, and we got it early on. I think we got really, really lucky with the horse pull. So that is good. So pretty much now, I didn't really fully organize this top spot right, but that's okay. So there you can kind of see everything that's here. We'll just do that. There's the gear. All right, just something like that. Okay, so that's what we got. Of course, some of the crafting stuff we already ate into our crafting box. We have the fish angler bear. So what I'm gonna do now is I will break down a few things, all right, here that I don't need. So again, I don't want this gear. My alts are not gonna want this gear. I don't think. No, I'm pretty sure all the alts I have what I need them to have. All right, so we'll just get this up. We'll get my. Let's just go ahead and eat all this. And again, you might want to look at the cosmetic value, right? The spear. I don't personally care for that spear that much. Boots are fine. Cloak is fine. I kind of like this this axe. I like that it just looks like a lamppost. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I'm going to keep for cosmetic is that lamppost. So the rest will be eaten away for embers. And again, remember you're keeping an eye on your embers, because if you don't, it'll end badly, won't it? All right, and then what about this shield? What's this shield at? Nope, we don't want that shield. We don't want this jewelry, so I'm at 6,000. We don't want that one. We don't want this one. We don't want the spear. All right, so, and then these pants are 528 with finesse, but I don't think there's any character I have that's really gonna want that. I'm thinking about it. Really finesse for a heavy class melee. Like you might want some finesse on maybe your champ or something, but there's gonna be better stuff. So I'm just gonna break that down. I don't need this. I know I don't need this one, so I'm gonna break that down. And then this thing I might keep. This might be better than the one my guy has. I'm gonna keep the mace and just double check. later on. And then I'm going to just eat these experience things. 130,000 experience for these two, which is quite a lot. 27,000 for these. So I'll just eat those up and see how much that gives towards my reward track, right? Let's look at the reward track. Kind of see what we got. How far did I... Now, a lot of it I've already been earning myself, but I should have checked ahead. I'm at 44. So I'm assuming it probably got me from like the mid-30s to 44. Probably, with that much experience. Well, there we go. So, next things next is I'm going to teleport to the house. We're going to look at some of these things for fun, cosmetically, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about how to really get embers yourself. But I do need to jump on my alt and open 5 too, because I told you I would. So, we'll do all that right now. So, ready? First teleport. Baruch Kazad! Alright, we're here. And the angular pictures are the same, and this is what we got for the desk and for the chair. They look really cool. Like, I really like how this looks. I'm going to have to hold my little torch up here. That looks really, really cool. That is a cool desk. And I love what's on it. It's actually one of the best cosmetic desks I think I've seen in the game in a long time. It's even got stuff on the back, in case you want to put it in the middle of the room or something. And then this is what the chair looks like. It's fine. It's just a generic little chair. There's not really anything too impressive about it, but it does have very good textures. Like, the textures on the chair look really good. Cosmetically, it looks very clean. It doesn't look, it looks updated. It doesn't look like older textures in the game. The picture is great. I mean, I love the picture. That's really cool. It's clearly like a painting or something, but you tell me. What do you guys think? In the comments. I like it. I think they're really cool. So I will be keeping all of them just in case I want to end up having 3 chairs and 3 desks. We'll find out later. I have not done my whole house yet. I've only done the outside since the moving of servers. I do want to see this tree. It says I got a small potted date palm, and I want to see if it looks good. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so it's one of the generic like Harad looks. I mean it's fine. I don't think it's personally not great. I'm not the biggest palm tree fan myself, but I think it's okay. Textures wise, it's fine. I don't think those are very good right there personally, but yeah, tree's fine. If you like palm trees, the planter looks great. These trees right here are my favorite. These are also potted with that same pot. I just sunk them into the ground. So you can just see just the tree at my house here. So, yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's great, but I'll keep it just in case. Maybe I want to do a theme for what, changing things around. All right, so with that, I do like the inside ones, so they look really cool. With that, I am going to learn the horse on this character because he's the one I collect everything on my main character. So I will go ahead and, yes, learn the horse. The angler, the able angler. So let's go into our collections, into my mounts, and go to the able angler and mount up to check out the horse. That's a very nicely textured horse. That arm, the pieces. Oh, look at the chest thing. That's so cool. Look at that. The fish on it. That is so. This is the mount you take while you roleplay to go fishing in the game. This is so cool. Look at that. It's got the. Oh, we got a kinship member here doing some tests. Wow, look at that. You've got the. That's cool. You got a little chest to put your fish in or whatever, and you've got 2 little packs and your fishing rod, and your fishing rod could have a little bit more definition on it, I think, but overall pretty darn nice. I mean, I like this mount a lot. I'm very happy that I got this mount. I'm glad that I got it out of those poles. That's a cool mount. I like it. Very, very cool. Is it worth opening 25? I tend to lean to no, personally. But, do I like the mount? Yes, I do like it. It's a good mount. If you're someone, again, who has a lifetime membership and you're sitting on 30,000 LOTRO points, do you want to open 25 boxes and try to get the mounts? I did get the mount on, like, my 3rd pull, so, out of the boxes, so I was pretty lucky. But don't count on getting that same thing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and learn the Able Ice Fisher on this character. I'll send the other one to one of my alts to have. I could break it down or sell. No, it's bound to account. You cannot sell things out of the boxes. It's bound to account. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the bear. There he is. All right, let's see who he is. Oh, cool. He's just like a little polar bear. It's a little tiny polar bear, which with excellent textures. Look at the eyes. That's really good. It's so fun to see these characters and animations so much better than they used to be. Very, very cool. I like him. I think he's cool. Let's see him. We'll walk around a little bit with him. That's his run. We do a walk. That's his walk. And then obviously we'll sit here and stare at him for a minute and see all his different animations. All right, do some animations for us, sir. Do some different animations. They usually do like 3 or 4. So there's one classic bear stand-up look around. Cool sound effects. One of our friends over there is doing some dummy tests. I set up a training area for our kinship here, if you're wondering. So this special crazy-looking building that I built with the system has 3 training dummies inside, different ones, so you can have all 3 at once. And then I have singles out here along these stalls for multiple people to practice. All right. So our kinship house was full, and for some reason our kinship house has a lot more lag, and for some reason this housing spot on the other side of the neighborhood does not. Not quite sure. So I decided, let's just do that. All right, so I didn't see, he's not doing more animations, so we're moving on. I guess he doesn't have a whole lot of animations then. That is okay. So the next thing we are gonna do is we are going to look at some of the cosmetic gear, and that's pretty much all I want to do for cosmetics. And then I'll organize all this stuff into my shared storage. But let's go ahead and look at some of the cosmetics. So I'm going to put them on like normal. So we'll just go into my like regular outfit. Okay, so there's the hat. All right, I need better lighting. Let's go right here. So there is the hat. And here is the angular garb, the angular boots, the angular trousers, and I guess it doesn't have any shoulders, right? So we'll just go ahead and turn these off. Except I want to see the back one. All right, so what we got, this is the setup. Looks great on the dwarf, I love it. So we got our backpack and our stuff. Obviously taking out my weapons would probably look a little bit more realistic, so why don't we just do that a little bit? So we don't look like we're going to war. Okay, so we're going on a fishing trip here, guys. So we got our fishing stuff, our boots. I mean, I think it looks great. I like it. I'm very happy with it. This is what I'm going to wear for our next fishing event. And then, of course, I could use my horse, right? I could use the angular horse. And then we'll have I'll have a whole setup. I got an extra fishing rod, an extra fishing, you know, in case your net breaks. We're like set. We're set for the fishing trip. Heck yeah. I like it. You tell me in the comments. What do you guys think? Is it worth opening so many boxes? I probably got the whole set after, what, 15 boxes? I could have gotten lucky. Maybe it wasn't lucky. I'm not sure. But, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool set. We'll go ahead and just put my gear back on so I don't forget. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. That's very cool. So now at this point in the video, we'll at 15 minutes here, I want to explain to you, I'm going to make a separate guide video on this, but I want to explain to you a couple quick things on how you can get embers without doing something like this. The reason why is a lot of times people ask, like, you know, hey, would you make a video about embers then? Or a subject if I cover it and make a comment about it. Sometimes I like to put it directly in the video I talk about, in case you're still someone here watching, which I appreciate. Like and subscribe if you would, if I earned it. But let's go ahead and talk about a few different areas that you can get embers, okay? So one really simple way to get embers is to do the proto quests, which are at, this is for 150, right? Again, this might become irrelevant at 160. Unless you still need embers. This will still be relevant then. But if it's a different currency at 160 with the new expansion coming in a couple months. But that island right there, the bottom right here, this is where you pick up your proto quest. You come there, you can start at level 145. You grab the quest from the guy right when you teleport in by the boat master. And then you go over and talk to the lady, and then you can pick up the quests at the bulletin board. Once you do those little turn-ins, and then that character can do it. You go around the island. I have a video on the proto quests. Maybe I'll throw the link down there, but it is on the channel. You just look up Proto Quests on my channel. I have it there. And it'll guide you through that whole process. You get 20 embers per quest turn in, so not great, but you can grab 100 embers on each character each day. Okay, so that's how you can get embers there. Another way you can get embers is you can do some of the daily stuff, okay, for quest turn-ins, and that would be, there are 2 or 3 good ones, okay, that you could do this with. So there is the, let me go ahead and just teleport to them. There's 3. Off the top of my head. So the vestibule, which is one of the kind of the main areas for the new raid, there's a quest there you can pick up, and it's basically complete any raid at any tier, and you get 1,000 embers. All right, you can do this. I think it's a weekly or no, it's like 24 hours per character. But yeah, it's like 24 hours, I think, or something. I believe I already have the quest, so let me just bring it up here for you guys. All right, here it is. You pick it up from this guy in front of me. This is the quest. It's called Trials of Umbar and Corbin Weekly. And, excuse me, it's 750 embers. I said 1,000. But you also get 750 into script. It gives you a cold iron token, which you're going to need a lot of when you're getting the raid gear at the end. So this is a really good thing to do on a weekly basis. If you can get into temple runs tier 1, you just need to have decent gear. You need to have your embers, jewelry, and gear. Have your legendary set up best you can. Most of the time, people will bring you into a run. And again, if you're on Glamdring, you know, we open up a group run, but usually we fill up because our kinship, we have so many members. Anyway, but a lot of people in the world chat will just start inviting people for temple runs. So this is a good way to get some of your embers and this is per character. So if you have a couple max level characters with enough gear to run temple tier 1, you could do 3 of these, right? Now, granted, you don't really want to run temple more than once a week because it doesn't reset. You get like diddly nothing from it. But if you're just looking for embers, this is a good way. Okay, another thing you can do is Great Evils of Umbar. This one is complete Umbar and it reigns on higher tiers. This is a very, very hard thing to do. This is, I believe, tier 4 and 5, or tier 2 and 3, I think, of temple. It's not something you're gonna be able to just do. So this is not really one I like to recommend, but it does give embers. You also pick it up from this guy. There's also complete Umbar or Corbin raids on tier 2 or higher, which is also from him. And this one is very nice if you get all 3. If you do 3 of them, it gives you 1,000 and a cracked Umbari Tracer and stuff like that. But really the one you can do very easily if you're a newer player and you just have basic gear at 150 is this one, any tier, 750. So that's the good one from this guy, okay? The next one you can pick up is, there is 2 spots. There is one in Meg, this place, return to Meg Magha. I'm just gonna teleport there, I'll just show you. This is another place you can go to pick up some embers. There's also something else that I want to talk about, embers you can get per day by a turn-in in the Bloody Eagle from doing some stuff. So I believe it is this guy that gives the quest. Someone here gives the quest. I think I already have it. So let me go ahead and bring it up for you. Before I forget, this is another thing you can do. There is a weekly, the Fortunes of Umbar Baharbel. I'm trying to remember if you just get this automatically or if you have to pick this one up. And I forget where. Again, look up the quest name in the wiki. I'll link it there. This one gives you 500 embers, but that's not the one I was talking about here. The one I'm talking about is Healing the Valley. And that's the delving one. Another one. All right. We'll speak about that one in a second. All right, here's another one, which I think this might be the one, Healing the Valley, that you get from this guy, I believe, or it's from the other guy. But I know one of these people drops an Ember quest. So come to this spot, one of them drops it. But there's also this one, complete the Umbaki Valley missions. This one gives you 500. All right, this is a weekly thing you can do as well. So that one is also good. And then the next thing I want to talk about is we're going to go to the Bloody Eagle, because I want to show you 2 things you can do there. So let's do that for embers. And again, if you don't know where I am right now, it is right here. It's located in this spot on the map, right left of the main city of Umbar Baharbel. Okay, that is. It's also where you turn in some raid gear originally. So now if we go here, there's a few things in here I want to talk about. So there again is the weekly Delvings quests, which will give you this one right here is missions. So this one is this one. It's right. There's a missions one, and this will give you the 500. So just come and do missions here, and or Carn Valley missions, and it will give it to you. And I'm trying to think, it might actually be, I think these missions in the Bloody Eagle count. If they don't, you have to go to the other place, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but I'm pretty sure these ones count. There's also, if you find the ones that for delving, so you can complete these at the same time, technically, the one I'm showing you here. And then there's also the delving one. Let me show you that one. All right, so if you go to the delving one here, if you complete any high tier delving 6 or higher, you can get 500 weekly. I believe it's every character. Again, all your embers go across all your account, and you do have 10 of them. All right, so if you're doing like tier 7s, which is what you want to aim for doing because it's the best chance of gear, once you can do that in delvings, that's another 500, and it gives you delving rights. So again, these are all things you can do to get embers. Another thing you can do is you come to this nice lady right here with any of your characters, and if you've been doing those proto quests, which by the way drop the Umbari Tam trade and barter item, which if I show you in the wallet here real quick, this item right here called Umbari Tam, you get that, you get 5 of those, I believe, from every proto quest. So I think you get a good chunk every time you're doing those 5 proto quests, because it's 25, I believe. I think that's how many you get every time. But again, you can watch my video on that if you're. This is all off the top of my head. But if you come to her, you can turn in 100 from each of your characters and get 500. And I believe I have her turn in here to show you. This one right here, Umbari Tam for Embers. So if you bring 100 to her, she'll give you 500 embers. So that's another great way to get embers. All right. So again, do your proto quest every day on all your main characters. All right. That's how you can just farm that. So if you are doing, let me just do a little review here so you're not too confused. If you are doing your delvings and missions every day to get the weekly delving thing and the weekly mission thing, all right, from these in Bloody, and you're also doing the proto quest daily, and you're also coming in and turning them in with all your different characters to her daily, that's a bunch of embers right there. If you go and do temple runs and grab that quest to shoot to the temple runs, that's more right there. If you go and grab where I just showed you over here, this spot right here, not this horse guy. You could teleport this horse master at Squirtra, KHU with a little thing TR. So you go to that and then you walk over. It's the village where all these blue things are. That has a quest to turn in, and that's the 6, I think, a day or whatever. The other spots, that'll give you more embers. Okay, embers. And then, if you go here, and you need to go to the town of Umrak, this is the new area, Umhular, whatever this spot is right here, see the name? So if you go here, I'm showing you physically, because I want you to know where you pick up, who gives you the quests, all right? You walk over here, get on your mount, okay? Come over here. Elephant or something? You come to this person right here. There's the quest. Grab it.
It is a new day.
This one's very important. This one gives you 1,000, and it's just complete any valley quests. Now, the best part about this, you can literally do the solo like tombs. You can solo the solo duo tombs, and it will count, right? And you can also do like, I think dragon. Or is dragon count, or is that the other expansion? Again, if you want to know, you can look on the LOTRO wiki. I can give you a link down there to know exactly which ones. But complete instances in Inca Valley cluster from the quartermaster. You use the instance finder, and it explains there. But this is another great way to get embers. Now, again, the other ember guy that I was explaining, this one right here, this Umbar Fortune, Umbar instances. That is this one, I believe this is the quest that you get from the guy I was explaining a minute ago over here. That's the one from him. Okay, so one's the Umbar, the other one's the Iker Valley quests. They both give 1,000 embers. You can do both on every single character. Okay, so there's a bunch of other ways to get embers. So now you've got like, what is that, 5 ways to get embers? You have delvings, missions, proto quests. You could take those proto quests to embers, or Tammies, or whatever they're called, and turn them in at the Blood Eagle with that lady. You can do the quest at the vestibule for the higher tier stuff, which is kind of unrealistic for newer players, but the temple tier 1 runs, you could do that. You can do the quests from either this guy in this town, right? the new place, for the Ickerban Valley, or you can go to this guy for the Umbar quests 6-man. Okay, those are other ways to pick up 1,000 embers on every single character. Another good way is to do the crafting. So if you are a crafter of any kind, we're gonna jump to Bree now. Okay, this is another good way to do it. If you have a crafter, you can farm embers. If you do your daily crafting stuff, again, the proto quests help you with getting crafting stuff as well. So if you have crafters on top of all this, you still should be doing those proto quests. They are like legit for level 150. Even if you're watching this on 160 later and you're just trying to get embers for 150, this will still help you. This is good. All right, so go ahead and grab your crafters. All right. I'm going to bring up any crafter here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my metalsmith, and I'm going to go into Umbar crafting. And I believe the easiest person to do this on is the cook. If you have a cook, it will take the least resources and it'll be the most worth your time. In fact, I'd be wary to do this if you don't have that. So I believe it is... I'm trying to see where the item is. I know it's here. Maybe the metalsmith... Can the metalsmith not do it? I thought I could. I was pretty sure I could, but maybe I can't unless I need to buy the... Hold on, let's look. So I'm going to show you the right person to do this at. So... You come over to this nice lady here. Oh, this guy's already got the camel. That's crazy. Cool, look at that. From the new switch. So we go over to this lady here, Moat and Embers Craft Trader, okay? And you can go into barter and buy one of these recipes, and it's the Moat of Craft. Now, do I already have it? I already know it. So, I do. It's Doomsfold Metalsmith Crafting Ability. Oh, is it in the different... Hold on, that's why. Maybe it's in the other one for me as a crafter. As a metalsmith. It's up. Doomsfold. Is it in the Doomsfold? Is that why processing? No, it's not there. Oh, there it is. Mode of craft. Okay, so it's in the Doomsfold. So that's kind of hard because you have to go collect Doomsfold stuff. It's not in the... Yeah, I guess not. Interesting. I thought it was. So again, cooks are the best for this. But you can do it on any character. So if I go into Taylor, right? And again, you have to buy the recipe from her. Okay? And then you can even hover these, right? So if I look in these and I'm like, if you're new or if you're forgetting like I am, you can hover these and go Taylor. Okay? So it's a Doomsfold Taylor. So go in the Doomsfold Taylor, go into processes. Excuse me, no, it's the guilds. There it is. Craft. So if you have Doomsfold stuff, you can do this for crafts. Again, it is the easiest with the cook because the cook, you can just farm the stuff from seeds. So you just pay some silver, farm the stuff, and boom, and make these. The biggest thing that is Moat's Word of Craft, you go click the Embers one, don't click the Moats one. Oh, excuse me, I am telling you something wrong. These are Moats. No, ignore what I said here. You do not want the Moat. Oh wait, is it turned in for both? Maybe I'm wrong here. No, it is. It is. It's bring a Moat and Ember Trader Craft. Okay, so pretty much you come back here and you just need to collect 7 of the, again, 7 Embers worthy crafts. Bring a Moat and Embers Trader 7 worthy Embers craft. Yeah. Do not do the Moats. It's the Embers worthy craft. And I can make that in the Umbar level tailoring, and I can also make that. Just type in Ember. Once you get the recipes, you should automatically almost just have it. You might... These ones are only showing they're from Moats, these crafting recipes. So excuse me what I said before. Ignore that. You don't need these. I believe you get the Emberworthy craft one from the Guild Hall in the Swan Guild Hall. We can double check that right now. But basically, you're just going to come craft these. And see, if I crafted 7 of these, you need red sea stones, which you can get very in abundance from doing your daily crafting things at the Swan Guild Hall if you're a crafter. And again, food is, you have to use all these ingots. Now, you could get a bunch of the materials from your proto quest and choose ore to be able to do this and have enough ingots. So just keep doing those proto quests and keep choosing the ore as your option but then you don't get to choose the 20 embers. You have to choose the crafting material. So I'm not sure if that would be worth it as much. So again, if you have a cook, best one to use, but this one is fantastic. You still use these. So again, you'd make these and you'd bring 7 to her, turn it in. You could do it on every single character every day, 1,000 embers. So you go and craft 21, send the 7 in your shared storage to 3 different characters, come up to her, accept the quest, make sure you're turning it in for not motes, but for embers, craft for embers. All right, that is very important. So pretty much we've kind of covered that. So there you go. So I kind of put an end of guide video here for embers, just talking about it, right? But still, it helps. It definitely will help you out for sure. All right. And I'm going to jump over to the Swan's Guild Hall real quick here in Umbar. But I want to show you one other thing. So again, if you want to get your crafting stuff, right, you should definitely do these dailies. They will not give you embers, but this is how you get the Red Sea stones to turn in for the embers. You got to just come and do this every day and do your daily crafting. I have a guide video on the entire crafting system. Go watch that if you need details on that. But you probably know if you already have a high-level crafter. But just in case you don't, I have a guide video on that. I'm lagging a little bit from here. Loading the whole swan. I'm gonna go over here real quick to her. And then if we look, the one for embers may just be in here. I do not remember if it is. Let me go ahead and do Masterwork Tier 3. It might, you know what, from what I remember, you automatically just have it. I'm pretty sure you automatically just have it. But I don't know this one. Well, now I do. I'm just double checking. I want to double check. It's sad to me that the crafted shield is so much worse. For some of these. Yeah, I think that is a no-go there. I think we're good. I'm pretty sure you just have it from what my knowledge I remember of that. Again, this was kind of fast off the cuff here at the end. But hopefully you enjoyed opening those boxes. But to finish up, we will open the last 5 boxes on my alt character. All right? So let's jump back over to him. See you there. Baruch Kazad! All right, we're back. And make sure, again, that they are the adventurer and not the travelers boxes. I have 5 on this, so let's do our last to complete the 30 for this video today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and... I double-checked. I've got 6,000 embers. I probably should go turn some in. Yeah, I probably should. All right, I'm gonna go do some embers here with my alt character standing behind him. Let me turn in for some embers stuff real quick. By the way, if you're curious where the embers gear are, since I talked about it, I'll just show you in this video. Okay, I normally do another teleport, but let me just show you where I like to go. You can also go to Bree. I believe by the Bree Fountain, there's also a trader for this, but I just like to go to my stable master at my kinship house because it's really fast and it's easy to get to, and I just go to Scarhold. Me personally. Again, there's there's a couple different locations for this particular trader that you can go to get this trade-in gear, but I just like to go to Scarhold. And again, I am slowly but surely getting my gear here. I'll probably just trade in for a little bit of jewelry. But let me go ahead and go to, it's just the Adventurer's Quartermaster. They're all over the world. You can use the wiki to find where they are if you want to use a different one. You can turn in for Tomes of Defense now, but don't do that early. That's for later. So I am a hunter, so I want jewelry. You want to get the 3,000... Oh, did they lower the price? I thought for sure it was 4,000 for the... I think they lowered the price by 500. By everything. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't update and lowered the price, too. That's cool. It was always 4,000, I thought in my mind. But I want jewelry for jewelry agility. So I'm going to go ahead and barter for one of those. All right, so now I'm good. Now we can open up boxes. All right, let's finish up here by opening some boxes. All right, and whoop. All right, 1,000 embers. Heck yeah. All right, so we also got a really good gold... It's not as good as... See, as you can see, it's not as good as the delving gear. The delving gear is usually going to always be better, but hey, that's pretty good. 1,000 plus 400, that's 1,400 embers. So we'll add that to our total. All right, 400 plus 1,000. Okay. And then we also got the bird trousers. Cool. Of the birder. Again, that's something that's they kind of added in here. All right, let's go ahead and open the next one. Another 1,000 embers. What? And gloves, which again aren't as good, but that's another 1,000 embers. So we got really lucky here on the last couple pulls, you guys. Okay. And we got the birder hat, which is kind of cool. Now we can see the birder hat. Because they changed it on me right when we mid video with that overnight. All right, 250 embers. We got the trousers again, and we got a Seafarer's Lively Essence box. Sweet. I'm just gonna count the embers. Again, you guys, if you broke down the embers, we could have had more. You can go back and you could do the math yourself in the video, but I am not going to. I'm kind of tempted to, but yeah. Another 1,000! Wow, I'm getting so lucky with these pulls on this alt account. And leather lively essence box, and we also got the bird accessory for your mounts. That's kind of cool. For your combat mount, your war mount. All right, that's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and open our box number 30 here. Besides the 2 I messed up on, I got technically opened 32 boxes in this video. All right, I got the plan. That's a pretty terrible box, but 250 and 200, so it combined another 450. So let's see here. So with our total amount of embers that we got for opening 30 boxes was, ding ding ding, not counting destroying essences, lively essences, which we got several of them, and they do break down for 400, and I think we got like 6 of them, 7 of them. I forget how many I got in the other character. So a decent amount, like 2,000 of that. But the total we got was just breaking down gear and flat essences out of embers out of the box was a total of 17,850 embers for 30 boxes, which is decent. But as I explained and showed you, if you were going to do the work to get that, and you have, let's say, 2 level 150 characters, you could probably do the work over a week or 2, and you could probably get that many embers in, if you're doing it daily. It might take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? But again, this is pricey. I told you, what I just opened is quite a lot, actually. I did the math at the beginning for you with the money. It's so, like, you get embers quick, but you're spending a lot of money. But if that's something you want to do, more power to you. It might help you boost your gear really quick if you're someone who wants to kind of do more paying like that. But again, there's lots of ways to earn embers the normal way, free, that works great. And it's not horribly grindy to do embers. It's really not. If you know all the tricks that I just showed you and you do them daily, it's not horribly grindy. You can get one character decked out with embers gear very easily within maybe a week or 2 of your work, even if you don't do 1 or 2 days. So that's about it today, guys. That's what I was going to cover in this video. I hope you have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth. We'll jump back over to Zollin, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay happy, my friends. Thank you to my Patreons for their support, especially right now because this video, I had up a little money in this video. But thank you so much, El Rando, for being Zollin's company member, and Rev for being a Royal Guard. And again, guys, thank you for liking and subscribing. If this did help you a lot, please leave a comment on your thoughts too. Share the video, maybe that would be wonderful help to me. And yeah, if did it help? Did this video help? I hope it did. I turned it into /guide/fun opening videos /informational because I want to be able to understand and know, like, are these really worth it? Because no one really talks about it online anywhere. I have never found anything. Everyone just says they're not worth it. There are some scenarios where they might be worth it, which I already explained. Again, it really comes down to, you know, do you have a ton of extra LOTRO points? Do you want to just put money into the game that way? There are better things to spend your LOTRO points on. Let me be very clear. There are way better things. I talk about it in my LOTRO store video on the channel where I cover the whole LOTRO store with Potion Man. But yeah, it's totally... It's fun. You can get some cool cosmetics. You can get some embers. You can get some decent gear. It's not the best gear in the game, so definitely not pay to win, that's for sure, when it comes to that. But it'll get you embers to get the somewhat middle-level best gear, which is delving stuff or embers jewelry. Delving, you have to get your own gear, the armor, yourself, doing those. But jewelry, embers jewelry, I should say, and cloak and side weapon and things like that, or shield. The Ember stuff is like the best until you get the really high tier end raid stuff. But anyway, guys, again, stay happy. Have a great day in Middle-earth, and I'll see you in the next one. And at your service and your families, as always. See you soon.